That gives me a good platform to start talking about what our Bravo group does. Many of you already know, but I would like to express this to the people out here that doesn't know. We would like to create more synergy and common effort together with our local district here. Thank you, Darren, for being here. Let me tell you a little bit about our Bravo group does, and not only what we do, but how we do it. Because one of the reasons all these gentlemen are here is the way we do things, and not just what we do. So our Bravo group, it's a company that today is a California company, but we were born in Argentina. All the group and cars you see there as developments we've done in these years in the car business. That first car over there is the reason of our existence. And I would like to tell you a little bit about that because it's important to understand how we act and how we develop stuff. So Miguel was at his holidays in the beach, and his son was in a four-wheeler, and he was so afraid of getting hurt that he decided to create a recreative car with a high security jail for what he was a winner of an innovation prize. So that's how the Natch 1 was created. But our group is always integrating solutions and watching out what the future of things might be. So rapidly we understood that making fancy sport cars wasn't maybe the best option for the group because of the talent we were able to put together. So we started developing ourselves as a sustainable transportation company. We developed efficient ways of moving people, goods, and data. That's exactly what we do. And you think, whoa, this is huge. And yeah, you're right, it's huge. And that's why we all need to work together in order to get that. Well, all the people that you saw there in the other picture, and people from all those countries you'll see in red out there, crowdfunded our company in the first stage. So we received 650 different investors in a crowdfunded way. And we raised about $7 million in order to do all these developments you're going to see. So this puts us in a situation, after we did that, guess what? The financial world reacted and SEC forbid to raise more than $1 million in crowdfunding. So what we did would be impossible to be done today. But it makes sense to explain to you that we are in the sharing economy. Our belief is that sharing not only profits, as everybody's looking for, but sharing the solutions or the build up of new solutions is a way of doing this revolution that we need, especially for Central Valley. And because we have water problems, but we have energy problems, and we have transportation problems. And all these problems really affect more the people that have less money. And we want to create a more fair society and create wealth. And in this environment, we will need to be smart and work in a very united way so we can get to these final solutions. So this is how we grew. So just for you to have a little understanding, in the car making industry, developing a platform of a vehicle generally takes between 5 to 7 years, about $160 million. Because of the way we develop things, we were able to grow all these developments with the capital I just told you in only 5 to 6 years. So it's more, right? It's about 8. right now. Sometimes I forget that time passed. Let's this is a very important moment for us. If you have a look, there's a guy over there that stand up. That's me. I'm looking to the projector that was making a mapping on that white vehicle, which is our Rodon development, driverless car for car sharing. And this is in the Electric Vehicle Symposium 26 in Los Angeles in 2012. This is a moment in which we brought from our country and all of our developments, all of our beliefs, and we expressed this in the US to people from all around the world, and we realized that this new world that was coming about creating new ways of moving people, goods, and data, about the new ways of generating energy, managing and using it, all this world that is all united together, as well as how we treat water, reuse it, and manage it. So all this world that looks so different, if you don't pay attention, they are only one. It's about energy. I mean, moving is about energy. Living is about energy. Because if you don't eat, you'll die. So food is energy. This moment was the moment in which we understood we needed to be a U.S. company. The story followed. We needed to be a California company. So after this, we got in touch in Washington, D.C. with the Department of Commerce. We were with the Select USA program. At the time, we had the meeting with the director of the Select USA program, and he, after a not that long meeting, he told us, we really want you to be here. Where do you want to be? I asked him, oh, where? Yeah, we'd stay. And I didn't doubt it. I told him California. So by the time I got to my hotel out from the Department of Commerce in DC, I already had an email from Select USA linked to the governor's office of Business and Economic Development down there in Go Beast, down there in Sacramento. And after answering, a couple of hours later, I was already on the phone with them, and would lead us to have meetings here and actually creating our operations in the US. So I'm telling you this because maybe that action they took that looks like nothing, for us was everything. And that's maybe the philosophy we need to adopt here. We need to give things that looks like nothing, but for entrepreneurs and new startups are everything. I mean, we can give them just calling somebody to open the door and listen to them. I mean, it looks like nothing, but for them it's everything today. So that's why I'm telling you this story. I think it's very important about what we're trying to do. So this is a very important thing. I just told you we are looking forward to change the way we move. And changing the way we move is in many senses, and in all countries in the world, the difference between poor and not being poor. So if you are able to transport, you are able to get a better job, or you're able to go to school. But if you don't have transportation, then that is getting much difficult, and you might not do it. So being able to offer to our society a smarter way of moving, which it means a lower cost per mile, that means that we will improve our society. And I believe everybody in this room today has that as a mission. So that's why it's so important that you understand what we do and what all this gentleman here today. So, the other thing that's important is, you know what? There's not many companies being successful in our industry in the last years. So Tesla was the only one to be successful in the last 9 years. And that means that we're good, because many of you tell me that, well, because, and I believe that also. But we will need all of your help. We will need the help of everybody to be successful. So this is another part of our philosophy. I told you about the sharing not only sharing our services to the society, but sharing how to solve things, and sharing the opportunities, as we are doing right now. It's about integrating value chains. What we saw when we started talking about electric vehicles was that the value chain was broken, and it was broken. That made that so hard to be successful in this field. So that's the reason we started talking with mining companies, so they mine more lithium, so we can have more batteries. And then we started working on the what is our core, with the design and engineering, and advancing on taking lithium to be in batteries, to be in vehicles that move people. And now we are uniting the efforts of the miners, contributing with moving people in an efficient way, and take them out of poverty. I mean, looks crazy, but when you have time, and we don't have that today, I will be glad to explain all this to any person that is interested, and we can talk for hours about this stuff. This is, and it's going for you, everybody to understand. This is our main objective, to be here in the first stage. So this is our car. This is a car that was designed to be the moving robot to move people in efficient ways. So this is a driverless vehicle for the ride-sharing industry. This means we will use less vehicles with less weight, with less energy consumption to move the same amount of people in an urban environment. And this is not something we say. This is something that's already proven. The International Transport Forum made a study that demonstrates that fleets of vehicles like this, and this is funny because they describe a vehicle that should be done to achieve this objective, and they describe this vehicle, and it was like that study is part of my business plan. I put like a link. You need to read this because it's an international association of 65 different countries that paid for a study that says that the car needs to be a heavy-duty used car that can be in the streets more than 550, 600 miles per day without braking in 2 years. That happens right now. That needs to be easy to be cleaned. That needs to be as lightest as possible, and that has to have the ability of driving, of have a driverless technology, and also connect to other vehicles. So you're looking now at a car that does all that. And some people look at it and say, okay, so you compete with Google? We don't. What we did is a platform to install the most efficient driverless software. So this vehicle has LiDARs, has sensors, has supercomputers, antennas, efficient batteries, and efficient motors, and a composite structure that brings the weight down in 35%. So we are achieving all of these objectives that the International Transport Forum was telling the car needed to have. But we designed this before. We designed this in 2011. So this platform can has, let's say that we have a fleet of this being used under Uber's platform. So now Uber has a customer that needs to move, and delivers an order to one of these vehicles to go and get the customer and take him from point A to point B. Obviously, you will tell me, today we don't have regulations for that. I know, but it's going to come. I mean, we didn't have a regulations for driverless vehicle, now we have. And we need a driver behind the wheel right now, but suddenly when driverless are able to show everybody that a computer has much more information and much more processing capacity than any one of us to take good decisions, and that it will take all decisions under legislation, not as we do. So they are much safer than we are, and that will come with experience. Experience of using them will make them find a path to conquer their space. And this is about creating infrastructure in a smart way, because each one of those has an LED screen that sells advertising and is autonomous in terms of economy. So you are able to expand dramatically charging infrastructure into infrastructure for charging, but creating economical viability in a more lateral vision way. So this is what's going on, right? We're talking about cars that are reading information not for them, but for all the cars in the system. So now you have a system that knows almost in real time, in 3D, what's going on in the city and takes decisions much better than we do. And how are we able to do that? Because we integrate a good bunch of technology, very important technology, about antennas interconnecting vehicles, super computers. We use in this small car the same computer the Airbus 380 uses. Let's make a comparison in size. I mean, it's really the big difference. The Airbus 380 is the biggest airplane in the world. So we have enough processing capacity here to take good decisions in a fast way with all the information that the network is providing to us. And when you see all this lines in it down, we are talking about induction charging. So one of the problems about charging infrastructure is that you can't put conventional chargers in public areas because they are vandalized. I mean, they have their wires, their copper wires stolen, and this is a big problem for maintenance and for the cost of the system. So there's already induction charging. So you are able to actually charge the car without plugging in, just being on top of an induction line. Go. This is our link. How is so important to be here in Castle Forest? First of all, because we have the UC environment here that is supporting us tremendously, but we have a strong support also from LativeNet in NASA environment. So we are linked to Silicon Valley in a very strong way. Now we are telling people, when we are taking to Silicon Valley, and one of the reasons all these people is here, we have in Castle a facility that can give you guys a good location for industrial activities and research and common research and integration in a place that is not as expensive as Silicon Valley is. We are only 2 hours from there, and we are only 2 hours from San Francisco, and just a couple of hours from Sacramento, and 4 hours from LA. So Castle is a very good location, and with the help of Mark and all his training, I needed to learn all of this. I was able to convince all these people here. So this is we are going more deeper into what the system is. So imagine that you simply are in San Francisco and you simply don't have a car to park. So you simply don't have to worry about finding a parking spot and about the money you're going to pay for it. So the only thing you do is you push up your cell phone, you call a car, and the closest car to you will go and fetch you. And it's going to take you from point A to point B, and after leaving you, it's going to go and fetch the following customer. And that's why the system is so efficient, because you don't have the need to walk from your location to the closest car. The car is coming to you. Just get back with it. This is importance also about being in Castle. We're talking about integration of vehicles circulating in land, air, and space under a same protocol, under the same type of communication and computers. So we're talking about having communication of the cars with satellites and with the charging stations to create a new network of moving robots. This is a need. This is not just something that we invented because we are just crazy people. We are just crazy people, but it's a need. It's a need, and it's something that is already working. I mean, it's not something that I'm telling you, okay, this needs to be created. No, wait. There are other companies that are part of our group. They are stopped because of flight problems. But yesterday, Tony Sutter was here explaining us about the antennas and about the open space network, and about what they are doing to connect the Internet of Things and connect moving robots. So this is just. Our hunger is straight aside that balloon. I found that picture. I found it really interesting because, well, Google is here, and I think that as a community we should try to attract their attention so they can interact more fluently with us. So, this is about the structure of the vehicles. How it's so important to have a lightweight structure without needing of plugging in, and how clean the use of space is. So you are able, in this type of electric vehicles, you are able to create environment because you're too clean. You don't have all the problems that internal combustion motor has about space. So motors are in the X, batteries are in the technical flooring. So you just have wheels, what it looks like a chassis, and then the rest of the space is free for you to use. Go. An important point. 370 companies attracted 3.15 billion funding in our industry of interconnected cars in the last years. So the challenge would be how we, with the CESS, the county, all of us plus the university, are able to create new companies in this field that can attract part of this money that is all around. Go. This is our friend, the moving robot, helping our lifeguard. So imagine now that you have a drone over there that can throw, you can throw a rope and you can bring somebody in much faster than a lifeguard would be doing and without risking his life. So he's just there to make these first aid procedures, but the process of taking people out is done in an autonomous way by autonomous vehicles. So this is how we have been developing in order to be efficient. In the 80s was created a concept about using several types of transportation in an integrated way in international business to reduce costs. And that means that there was some parameters that you use, like from 0 to 400 kilometers you use a truck, from if you're going further you use a train, and if you're going much further and you have a water course you use a boat or you use a ship. So this is about, in order to be efficient, we need to start with little vehicles going to bigger vehicles, and then to bigger vehicles to little vehicles from our starting point to our end point. And this is about developing different vehicles with all these technologies, sharing all these technologies, about reducing weight, being more efficient, interconnection, and being able to be driverless, so we can move really people in an efficient way. This is the development we did at the time, and having conversations with a veteran organization. We know that our veterans have serious problems of disabilities because of the injuries, and we were so touched by our meetings with a veteran organization in San Diego at the time that we thought we needed to create something that might be helpful for them, and this was the Exoway that now is becoming a moving robot, because we're creating the half that is not there yet. Let's go. This is another development that's going to be in the pipeline. After we start with Orodon, it's the following vehicle that is about carpooling and connecting cities in larger distances. And this is an old, it's an old slide. Sidecar already broke, but General Motors bought it just to have the technology. And Lyft received 500 million from General Motors, and Uber has a valuation of 17 billion. So this is the opportunity we are talking about. We are talking about a huge business and creating opportunities here in Merced to attract part of these developments to Merced. This is one of the technologies we created with our vehicles. This is a fleet of vehicles that can perfectly be serving other platforms or our platform itself. So we can actually link these fleets of these vehicles to an Uber service or to get around another company that came out from NASA or any other of those ride-sharing industries. Or we can, if there's no operations from them in some places, we can put these systems to be serving local population. So this is about businesses. In the last the bus. The bus was one of the developments we weren't going to do, but the reality brought us of the need to do. So buses are today in the pipeline of $305 billion that the Congress has state and the President has signed. So there's $305 billion to be invested in the following years about transformation of surface transportation in the US into cleaner solutions. The first approach, without any cultural change to an electric vehicle in public transportation, is a bus. So buses will be benefit with all these efforts after COP21, specifically in whole America, North and South, and Latin America. Especially in Latin America, where the bus has a bigger cultural impact than in the US. So this is a creation we had like in standby, and we needed to go. Remember, we made a bus once, and so we needed to take that out and bring it up. This is about bringing this body. It's a bus created with one of our partners that we are bringing into Castle to operate together with us. That works about making composite structures. And this is how a composite bus is done. Only two molds, down mold, up mold, put together, and you have a bus ready to put powertrains for Richard and batteries, and driverless technology from Space AI, all of our integration and the experience on moving the vehicle, and some other systems like the interaction with software, with solar charging. So there's a lot of integration here related to this type of vehicles. And as you see, we're not inventing anything. This bus is a composite bus with CNG powertrain that Los Angeles County MTA had been testing for more than 10 years, being able to lower the cost per seat by increasing 5 feet to the length of the buses because of the reduction of weight. And you will ask me, but electric buses are expensive. That's the first thing you hear. So I learned through the years that expensive is a very tricky word. I mean, something can be have an initial higher cost, but in the length of its long life, it will be cheaper than something that is a lesser cost in the beginning. So this is showing it. Proterra is maybe the most expensive electric vehicle in the world. It's a $1 million bus. And if you see through the operation through the years, has the lowest cost of all the other energy sources. So, and you will tell me, why is that? I mean, why? Because internal combustion motors are much inefficient than electric motors. And if you add to that the reduction of weight that you have with composite, then you have a very low cost per mile that is only 18 cents. Go. So this was just to show how far we are to our objectives regarding electric vehicles. If you remember well, Governor Brown signed a document saying we need to have 1.5 million electric vehicles in California by 2020 or 2025. The thing is, in the world right now, we are close to 1 million. That's old, but the evolution is really slow. So we need more electric vehicle manufacturers, especially focused on public transportation, because there are none or very little right now. So this is how we divided our operations. The first operations to come to Castle is this too, and the energy because of manufacturing batteries. If you want to make electric vehicles, and this is something we are telling the world since 2011, if you want to get into the electric vehicles business, you should better manufacture your batteries and control that activity, because if not, it's going to block you at some time. We are going to achieve a battery peak sometime not far away from today, because of the growth of energy storage for utilities, energy storage for solar roofs in homes and commercial and industrial, because of the growth of electric vehicles. There's not enough electric lithium battery manufacturers today to supply all that thing. And you will tell me, but Elon Musk is doing his gigafactory. He already told the world that won't be enough even for him. So we need several gigafactories. So, this is a development that my friends over there in the back are interested in. We are talking about making some developments related to this, patents and maybe a prototype to be shown and be sold worldwide together with a Swedish group. This development was something we created, this type of thing that you have for the end of your presentation, like saying, okay, and for the future we have this. Well, when we met in 2012, the Los Angeles County MTA, the chairman of the time, Richard Katz, which is now a very good friend and will be part of our board, told us, this is what we need. You need to develop this. I mean, this is really different. I mean, BART, metros, trains, all this stuff is old, inefficient. You need tons to move kilos of people. I mean, this is amazing. How much does it cost? And we really didn't know, because we had it only to show it as a future thing. So we went down to the team, and in a couple of months of asking people to do things that they never did, so they gave us some numbers, and we came up with motors and stuff that we needed to integrate into that solution. And we came up to the thing that we really got surprised ourselves, because it was cheap and it was sustainable. We were able to generate the amount of energy and store it in these columns that has batteries, Richard, batteries, and with solar installations. They're like, we need solar, and this is in this thing, and it's a lot. I will show you later. If, let's say we do a structure like this for a system like the Hyperloop that doesn't have a structure yet, and we were selected in the first team to be the structure of the Hyperloop with this. If you make a solar one structure of this going from here to LA, you will have the biggest solar park in the world, creating energy and availability in places you don't have today, and maybe creating new real estate or whatever can be done with that. So this system moves people in capsules. It's a 30 feet tall structure, very clean. One of the important things of this is you don't cut the site. So one of the problems the MTA told us is that they aren't able to expand metros and stuff, because nobody wants to have a wall in front of his space or these concrete structures. This is nice, and you don't cut the site, so you can see across. And the other thing is you are able to move 10,000 people in rush hours with an 8-mile system like this. So it's really efficient. You generate the energy you use, and you're not only transporting people. If you see these hubs over here, together with Greenergy, we realized that maybe a good solution for California would be try to bring seawater to Central Valley. So now you say, wow, but this is going to be an expensive thing. But what if we create a structure in which we connect seaside cities with Central Valley, and now we can transport goods, we can transport people, we can transport energy, and we can transport water. For 4 different activities that are main important to all the place. So why not? The thing is, we need to create the environment to start having these discussions with, politicians and all the companies that might be interested in supporting an effort like this. But believe me, we can desalinize water with the lowest cost available today in the world. And we can do that in a distributed way. And we can also use the same technology to treat our gray and black waters, making available, stop having pollution in these small cities that don't have economical viability to treat the waters. So, and how we do this, because we have energy, we're able to transport it. That's why we are all here together. We can change reality, and reality sometimes is not what we want. So here you see the tube. That tube was proposed for the Hyperloop, but getting inside, it's a vacuum tube. You can simply transport whatever you want. You can bring water, you can bring other materials. But if you are able to bring water, then you have energy that is generated on the roof, batteries, and you can put pumps, and you can bring that water at really reasonable cost. So this is about efficiency, and how we are creating a huge amount of energy using this infrastructure that doesn't use the ground. So we don't need to, instead of being invasive of a farm, we're going to generate energy and make it available for them, maybe for a lower cost that they have today. So this is a very, I would say, innovative way of approaching these problems. And we should, for sure, start having these discussions in this community. Well, this is an integration of all of our developments. We presented this to the Spark Awards. The important things about Spark Awards is that the judges of this competition are specialists in the field. So it's maybe the best specialist in approaching transportation selected us to be in the final of this competition, together with big companies as Merced, Panasonic, Airbus, Boeing, and some others. And we are very proud about that. So here you're looking to hangar plant 1. This is how we pretend the hangar to look like when we finish with it. Now with the partnership with Deltoid, we are able to increase the solar park in all the parking lots and in front of the terminal. We are trying to find space to complete around 5 megawatts. The purpose of this installation is not only to source energy for us, but generating funds to supply the creation and development of the Center for Exponential Sustainable Solutions together with UC. So Delta is proposing making a project in which they upfront investment and upfront earnings, so we can start funding in a good way this initiative. This is a map I received from a friend from far away. I don't know if he's recognizing that, but thank you, Richard, for the slide. This will show you, if you watch here, we have Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Fresno is where's that? No, they're not in Palo Alto. They're in Freeman. It was with that. It's Freeman and Reno. So if you look where Tesla's locations are and where Faraday today is, we're exactly in the middle. So people, Castle and Merced are in the middle of the whole top developments happening in the world these days. So believe me, we can do it together. And I hope you all will help us with that. Well, this is another approach of what the hangar might look like in the sites. This is important because this shows you how Internet of Things is integrating all this technology we are talking about. We are talking about cloud solutions, Gabino. We are talking about how we have microgrids that generate, that now if you see some presentations, I might send to anybody that is interested, but this being today the interest of creating microgrids. That means that we are converting consumers into prosumers. We are giving the opportunity to people to generate their energy, sell it, manage it in a different way. So believe me, the reality as we know it is changing so fast, and it's already changed. There's some industry that they didn't realize yet, but if they don't realize soon, they will be dead. So we need to, make a good use of our characteristic of being small. Being small sometimes is bad, because you're a big guy and simply knock you out. But sometimes being small means that you can be faster, or you fit into other places that others doesn't do. And this is exactly what we have the opportunity here. We can be faster. I mean, here I know I can call Mark, I can call Peter, we join, we have a conversation, we take a decision, we go forward. Try to do that in a bigger city. I dare you. Because I try. I have friends in UCLA. I know a lot of people in LA. Try to do this in there. It's impossible. So we can do it because we have the characteristics that are needed today, which is being faster, shorter decisions, and being maybe more innovative. We have nothing to lose. So we can go further. Okay. So this is something I read the other day. So now it's press saying that developments as Google does and we do will kill about 10 million jobs. We will kill just 10 million driving jobs, but we will create more than that. And I can assure that. I mean, we will need to create a totally new infrastructure. We will need to create new workers. We will need to create a whole new world that will need much more people, and we will use drivers, which is a very limited thing to be done, and educate these people to do another job that will give them more money for their time. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about transformation and making people's life better. So now you will tell me, okay, this all stuff you've been talking about, this is amazing, but how are we going to pay for that? Well, let me tell you the good news. COP21 in Paris took the world and all the countries around that event to sign down something that they need to accomplish. And now you have mission innovation from Obama administration and all those presidents over there that says we need to cut down our carbon emissions. How are we going to do that? If we continue to move the same way we do, we won't. So we need to change things. Another news. I remember when I read that, I sent that to Peter, and Peter didn't know it yet. I got you with that. Yeah. So, Breakthrough Energy Coalition is a fund that I read today is already in 20 billion. So they're already 10 times what they started less than a month ago. So they started announcing this in part with 2 billion, they are already with 20. This money is going to be invested in all this technology we're talking about today. And you know, the better thing about this, the only university selected by this group, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Richard Branson, Jack Ma, and many others, they selected the University of California to be the entity that will select the projects to be funded by this fund. So we really have a great opportunity, because I'm pretty sure that maybe we won't get the big part of it because you have Berkeley, UCLA, and all those guys that are big, but I'm pretty sure that there's a little part of it that is for granted for any of all the other campuses, right? Okay, so we have a good amount of money that we can create synergy and common research and create new companies around us. So here's the picture. The president of the UC and the guy that takes care of investment for UC, together with Bill Gates, announcing that UC is the university selected to that job. Okay. And this is about future again. But it's also to show you at the end that our company, what does is lead in the vision and bring together a lot of other companies that are believing in what we do, and because we are of our persistence, that Adolfo also always make, the point of telling everybody about my persistence, but is we are resilient. We are a resilient organization. Mark knows this. We don't desist, even if things doesn't look like we want it. We don't desist, and we continue going until we get to this moment right now. This is one of the most happiest moments in my life. So just to show you, this January 9th was CESS. Mm-hmm. So in the CESS was presenting a personal drone that SED was able to do something that we obviously know they can't. So the challenge in the group, in our WhatsApp group, so you have to understand this. We have WhatsApp groups for different groups of work within our organization. So we throw it there, okay, this is live. How would we do something that really works? And we started this development in January 9th. What day is today? 26? So that means that in about 15 days, we have renders of what the development should be to work today. Go. And this is something I offer Mark free of charge. This is a development of eco park. This is a development of an industrial park for sustainable industries that includes incorporating all these innovative technologies into the development of an industrial park that we can adapt to Castle, and obviously be able to attract investment not only from the industries that are going to be there, but maybe from real estate companies and people that understand why all these gentlemen are here because of what you taught me, and I was able, as a good student, to reply to all these gentlemen in this room today. So, Darren, I dare you. You need to help us to get this to be listened by others that you believe that can contribute to the development of Castle Airport, because we need a strong industrial park here, and we will need all the help as possible.
I think the governor has a lot of high-speed rail.
Yeah, the problem is the last time I called him, he didn't pick up the phone. But if you put me in front of them, you bet. And once he gives me his email, I'm persistent. I mean, if we all go together, I mean, it's something you don't see much. And Peter can tell you. I mean, whenever we are working together a lot, of interacting with other UC campuses. So whenever Peter says, "Hey, we're here for whatever you want. Please let me know how I can help you," the guys look at him or has a reaction like, "Where is this guy from?" It's. I mean, people are not used to it. I mean, if we are able to unite efforts in this community, and it doesn't mind what we think as the political will be. We need to join everybody. So if we can join everybody, industries that want to be here, the university, the county, and the supervisors and congressmen and senators of the region, and we can all together understand that this is an opportunity in a lifetime for this region. We can go with the president if we want, but we need to be together. Yes.
And I just want to add, I mean, you mentioned the fund earlier, the one with Bill Gates and Clean Energy. Innovation and entrepreneurship is a tremendous priority, kicked off by President Janet Napolitano's statement last year that the UC system would begin investing in UC startups. This is an ideal time that we had our first conference across the University of California system on the topic of innovation and entrepreneurship. In addition to the funding that Eduardo mentioned, The UC system has put $250 million into as an anchor for an investment fund that is being managed by Vivek Ranadive, who's the owner of the Sacramento Kings, and he will use that money to raise more money. So this is an extraordinary time for California to support innovation and entrepreneurship, exactly the type of thing that we're talking about here today.
Thank you for the input. This is all. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much for being here. Please be sure that anybody you represent receives our thanks, and also that receive the opportunity of calling to anybody of us and be able to contribute to this at any point in any sense. So I want to declare the Center for Exponential Sustainable Solution created. We will take some time until it's operative, so in the meantime, we have a 501c3 created in NASA, LatinMed, that is going to receive donations to make the center work. We have some projects in the pipeline together with UC Environment now that will be funded with this fund that will be raised. So please don't doubt on asking me any doubt, and whatever you can contribute or whatever idea you might have of how we can work together or help can be obtained. I listen. We will need all the help we can get. And again, I'm consider myself already a Merced inhabitant, and we are doing everything to make this place a very better place. And hopefully you all help. Thank you. Yeah. Now, whoever wants to, we're going to have a little visit to the hangar, so you know how it looks like and how we need help to get it to the point we want. But we have a vision, so that's a good part.
It worked very well done. So as he just said, we'll go ahead and we'll probably follow it. You've read ones right now.
No, I don't have read one, but
so we're going to go over to the big hangar that way you can actually see. This is where you have to look beyond what is and imagine what's going to be. And so we're going to meet over at the gate as part of this walkthrough, Scott, and you guys get a first-hand look at the size of this hangar. It's 191,000 square feet, and so it's a very large facility. So we're looking forward to sharing that with you. But again, on behalf of the county, on behalf of Supervisor McDaniel, Councilmember Raymond, thank you very, very much for being here today. Thank you.